No, but I'm pretty much hydrated. I think I'm good right now.
All right, from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this is My Worst Holiday, a podcast about your worst wedding, funeral, bachelor party, bachelorette party, or whatever story's funny after. It doesn't even have to be a holiday. As long as the story's funny, I want to hear it. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Michael Stafford. Say hello, Michael.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hey, Michael,
I do want to
tell
say,
us all
I
about
do want to
tell us
say
all about
before we.
Michael. Like, say you were a candy bar. Let's get to the nougat of Michael.
Okay. Well, what's the nougat? Well,
What's the nougat?
I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I've been born and raised in Cleveland. Um, I majored in film production and minored in creative writing. So I grew up like watching films and stuff like that. My favorite type of films to watch is mostly just like action and superhero films. One of my favorite films back in the day was Batman 1989, which I actually noticed in the background. That is the Jack Nicholson Joker right there.
Me and this guy.
Oh yeah, that brings so much memories because I remember back in the day when my parents took me to go watch the Batman movie and stuff and saw one
Yeah.
of those cardboard cutouts of Joker and Batman. And there was like one particular scene that where Vicky Vale threw water in the Joker's face.
Oh
But
yeah.
but for some reason, but for some reason, my father made the choice, either it was my mother or my father made the choice to cover my face to not showcase the fact that like Joker's face was all mushed up with water and stuff. I guess they didn't want me to like mimic that in real life. I don't know.
I don't. What the hell, Mom? Dad? It wasn't even bad. He just went like ah, and then his like face was fine.
And the
So
funny
like,
thing is, it always traumatized me because, like, with the music building up and like you were saying, "Oh, my face is burning," it kind of like freaked me out
yeah,
because I never got the whole point of like actually seeing it as a kid. So as an older guy, I kind of like figured out like it wasn't even that big of a deal.
yeah. No, it really wasn't. That scene wasn't a deal. Maybe your mom thought it was, and maybe she thought she was protecting you. Maybe like, and then after it's over, she's like, "The fuck, that wasn't bad. That wasn't good."
Parents always are always overprotective, so I guess I kind of understand it. My childhood probably wouldn't have, but as the adult guy, I do.
Yeah, your parents might have been. Mine, not so much. Yeah. Here's a gun. Go hunting.
Yeah.
Oh, he's out. He's out in the woods. Like,
Oh
yeah,
wow.
is he gonna be back? Who knows? Maybe.
You'll be back when you be back.
He better be. I need the lawn mowed. Like that kind of a thing. Like, these shelves ain't gonna dust themselves. He better get his ass back.
Right.
Supportive. That's what I
Yeah,
call it. Supportive and loving. That's
right.
Hey, Brett Allen's watching. He's a fellow podcaster. Say hi, Brett. How you doing, buddy? We were talking to Michael Stafford. He's a director. And what else you got going on?
So right now, what I got going on is like a couple of things. I'm a BTS videographer for Matt Cain's film. It's called Gatling, which is an MMA drama film. Basically, recording behind the scenes, and I'm also working on my own long short film called Shadow Dome Warrior of the Night, and that's basically about a troubled youth who gets into the crossfire of a drive-by shooting. He later becomes a caseworker by day and then vigilante
Oh,
by night. So it's a superhero drama type film.
nice. That's super cool. A therapist by day and a vigilante by night. Nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So it's
What's his?
almost like
What's his?
Daredevil-ish if you really think about it,
Yeah.
because these superheroes, they're doing things during the day, but then they're trying to like handle other business at night.
So what's the city that this vigilante is haunting, is taking care of?
So I'm going to give you a small little hint. It's not taking place in Cleveland. It's taking place in a city called
Akron.
Nalavelk.
Oh,
Nope,
okay.
Nalavelk. But here's the twist. It's actually Nalavelk is Cleveland spelled backwards.
Oh, all right. I like what you did there.
I want to like play onto that fact
And
of
again,
like,
everybody, this is the first time on a podcast, so My Worst Holiday has the exclusive on that. There you go.
It is super exclusive. And the thing was like I was kind of like debating like, do I want my superhero to take place in a real life city, or do I want to play into like the fictional city? So I kind of like put on that little bit of a twist where I wanted to like have like an actual city, but like have it like spelled backwards and stuff. So some people may get the hint of like that's the name of the city backwards, but they probably won't. They have to like probably like watch the movie several times to like actually look at the wording and stuff to see like, wait a minute, that's
Or they think
even
the city's
backwards.
named after or they think it's a Lithuanian word, something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I probably will be like playing that little like concept and like in future films like that with like turning Toledo backwards or turning Akron backwards. It's just gonna be a wait and see for my future film projects.
Or Ohio.
Oh, there you go. See, there you go. Just play with people's mind. That's just play with audiences' mind and let them figure things out.
Yeah, they have a river that's only been caught on fire -3 times.
Negative 3 times. Wow.
Yeah,
Never
the
heard
Ohio
negative.
River 3 times. Caught on fire three
Oh, got
times.
you. Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you.
The negative fire river. I'm sure there's something you could weave into that.
I mean, when you're making movies, there's always something to wean into it.
There's always, yeah. And that's the beauty of movies. It's endless. That's the thing. That's the whole thing about the superhero thing. Like there's always, doesn't matter which one you're on, DC, Marvel. Yeah, it doesn't matter which universe. It's all weavable. All of it.
Yeah. I've always grew up as a DC fan, although I do love Marvel's stuff. I always grew up reading about like DC comics than I did with Marvel comics. But it's so many
Yeah.
stories uh, that they expand upon, and there's some stories that people favor the most based on like movies and stuff like that. But I've always grew up as a DC fan, enjoying like Batman, Superman, The Flash. I was always more of a Batman fan growing up.
Yeah. Flash was always he was my guy. I always liked Flash. In case you can't tell, I'm a little hyperactive. So yeah,
there's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with
your...
being hyperactive. You excited, man. I'm excited. You're excited.
Yeah, no, Flash is always, and that's why I was so pissed off when the Flash movie finally. Actually, I was pissed off when the Justice League came out and they made Flash into that character, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's not Flash. He's obnoxious and he's fun and he's super smart. Now they got like this kind of fucking weenie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when we started in the 1990s, you had John Wesley Shipp was a decent Flash, but then when we transitioned to Grant Gustin, which he took up the mantle really well, especially after like 8 seasons and stuff, and expanding the story and stuff.
Yeah,
but then
yeah, he really did.
Like,
it was that campy Smallville kind of a. Yeah, it is that campy Smallville, Green Arrow kind of a genre. I mean, he still wasn't like. Nobody's ever really gave it like. Well, the guy in the '90s kind of did.
Yeah,
like he gave it kind of that angst. But like really, yeah, Barry Allen on the series The Flash, really, it's always got the kind of a love interest, kind of a, kind of a thing. And it was a good series, don't get me wrong, but it didn't, like, he's not the comic book Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're going through another reboot, so we'll see if like the Flash will resurface on this 18th reboot that we got going on now.
I'm sure they'll fuck it up for me. I'm positive they will.
Well, I'm actually anticipating the Superman movie to see how they go about with this one. So I'm kind of like willing. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like really open because I don't want to be like one of those people that like see a picture or see a teaser and kind of like talk down about it. I would like to like I
Yeah.
like to like observe the imagery and observe the like the trailers to see like what's the whole stick of like the whole story and then invest the
Yeah.
time to actually see it because sometimes when you see a particular image you automatically think that like that's not how that character is supposed to be, that's not how that character is supposed to look, but then when you like watch the film and then understand it, and I think that's probably why over the years, I've learned a lot when going to film school. It's like learning about watching movies from a different perspective, learning how to like
Right.
actually tell a story and stuff, and why they went for that actual plot within the story.
Right. Right. I think one of the best, the one I like a lot on DC,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I don't know if they're going to bring it back. It's not sounding like they are. Was Black Adam? I thought that was
Mm.
fantastic. I loved Hawkman. I loved Fate. I loved well, Black Adam. Uh, I
Well,
thought
the
they did that all right. I thought they did that super good.
I think it was like really interesting because I think over the years, Dwayne Rock Johnson wanted to play the Black Adam for so long and stuff, but it never gotten lifted.
Yeah,
I was a little bit surprised that Dwayne Johnson wasn't Black Adam in the Shazam movies and stuff. Cause
yeah.
like I've always
Well,
remembered
they
like
left that
Shazam
one
always
scene
hit.
open.
Yeah,
They left
exactly.
the
They
one
left that
scene
scene.
open at
Yeah.
the end, and you knew who that was. You knew who it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah. But then, like when seeing like Henry Cavill finally coming back, it was kind of like really nice because like we haven't really got a sequel to like the Man of Steel, so that we could see the actual like portrayal of Superman that Henry Cavill was going to portray. So when he came back and stuff, it was like, oh, okay, this is nice. Then you get like 3 weeks, 3, 4 weeks later, they ended up like letting go Henry Cavill, and then James Gunn came into the play, and he's like, what's going on? What are we doing?" So you
Yeah,
know, everybody going, everybody wants to like reboot everything, and then wants to
yeah.
do things their way. So can't control everything.
All right, man. Well, hit us with a story. What do you got?
Okay, so there's a couple of stories. There was one time when I
All
actually
right.
met. There was actually one story where I actually met a uh, professional wrestler, someone that actually wrestled in WWE and TNA, and this was kind of like really interesting
Okay.
because um, I spent the time like going to networking events, being able to like to network with people, socially engage with other people, just building rapport, building relationships, just socially interacting. Because with me having my busy schedule, I really don't have like that a lot of downtime to make time to like to interact with people. So there was this advertisement for a speed dating event, and I ended up deciding to go, and come to find out they actually canceled because I purchased tickets to this event. So they ended up like refunding me
Okay.
and advertising that I should come anyways. And this was at a non-alcoholic bar. So I drove all the way
Oh,
to the Willow area to have my drink and stuff and just chill before I go to work and stuff. And then as I was like checking out the scenery while having my drink and stuff, I looked to my left, then I looked to my right, and I was looking for at least maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and I was like, "Wait a minute, that guy looks awfully familiar." And I was thinking to myself, "Is that Ethan Carter the third, EC3?" and he was like talking to someone at the
Oh,
bar.
okay.
He was talking to someone else at the bar too, and I was asking him like, "Excuse me, sir, I don't mean to be rude or interrupt you or anything, but are you EC3?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes, he was." And my mind was like freaking blown because I was like, what shit just happened?" Like stuff like this does not happen every single day and stuff. So he said that like I got
Right,
some like
right.
work. So he said that like he had like some business to do and stuff like type up and stuff, and he said he'd be with me in a minute and stuff. So I was like having my drink and stuff and just chilling out while talking to the bartender and stuff. And he actually approached me and we got like really acquainted and stuff like that. And he was a really cool dude and stuff. EC3, I've watched him wrestle in like different promotions like TNA, Impact Wrestling, WWE, and stuff like that. And he actually had like one of his promotions, Exodus Pro Wrestling, wrestling in the local area and stuff. And I actually got to
Yeah.
watch him wrestle at this wrestling promotion. Exodus Pro Wrestling. It was called For the Fame, and I think I went there last June and stuff. It's really fun to go to those local wrestling events because
Yeah.
it's a different atmosphere than when you go to a WWE event. When you're at a like a
Yeah. Yeah. A
local
buddy of mine owns
independent,
a wrestling promotion.
yeah, when you go to those like local wrestling promotions, you're a little bit more closer to the action as opposed to going to the WWE where you're either
Right.
like sitting in the front row or you're sitting at the nosebleeds. Because I used to remember my father taking me to wrestling promotions, we would always sit in like in the nosebleed sections because it was a lot more cheaper.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, my buddy owns one. It's called Dreamwave, and it's around our area. And he
Okay.
knows a lot of different wrestlers, and he brings in some pretty big names. Like I've seen Bret Hart, I've seen Big Sexy, I've
All right.
seen
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Nice.
But my the funniest one is I've seen the Honky Tonk Man twice,
Oh,
and
nice.
and the last time he's getting up there, he wasn't doing real well. Oh, Honky wasn't
Mm.
doing great. Yeah, Wayne was feeling kind of rough, and he was wrestling just a scrawny little guy or whatever.
Uh,
But anyway, I was coming down the stairs because I had to go to the bathroom. I was going to go to the bar to get to the bathroom, and as I did,
uh,
like his match had ended, and he was walking towards me.
uh,
And as he walked towards me, I'm like, "Hey, Honky!" And I put out my hand to shake it, you know. And so I give him a hand to shake it, and he gives me this really light uh, handshake, and it was all wet because he just got done wrestling, and I was like,
oh,
ah! Like I just got light shook. This fucking monster of a guy just handed me this fucking. I don't know if he wanted a curtsy after I took, but it was like, I was like, what the fuck? And like I was so disappointed. Like I was just
oh,
beside myself, absolutely disappointed that I got this light handshake. And it was like I was telling this story like a couple of years later.
uh,
I'm like, oh god, it was just fucking disgusting. And this guy that was bartending, he used to wrestle.
uh-huh.
Wrestlers intentionally give you a light shake. This is something that
Okay.
goes on in their universe. And
Okay.
that means I'm going to go easy on you. If somebody gives
Oh,
you a firm handshake, it means that they're going to go hard on you. So he naturally just gives me this light handshake. And I'm like, I've been pissed
okay.
off for years because of the fucking
Oh.
like
See, I
God,
would probably
take it
I
easy on me,
probably wouldn't
honky.
know
You know,
that.
like yeah, take it easy on me, honky. I don't know if you thought he was gonna crush my hand or anything, but I expected, you know, like a good firm look him in the eye and give him a shake. And he gave me this.
It's crazy when you
Towel.
learn that stuff and
So,
you never really thought about it, but when you learn about that stuff, you're kind of like,
no,
oh,
I,
that's why they do it. Yeah.
like if it had been somebody I'd just first met and they gave me a handshake like that, I would literally
Yeah.
mock them until they were in
Mhm.
tears. In front of, where's your father? Come here. Cup your fucking hand and put it at the god damn. I've done it 100 times. My wife gets pissed off at me. What the fuck was that? Give me a fucking inch.
I definitely look forward to like going to more local wrestling promotions because those are definitely a lot
They're
more
fun.
fun than I
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah, I take my daughter.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and she's a little older now. She's not into it anymore, but yeah, but it's nice. Like Jay Repsol, shout out to Jay Repsol and Dreamwave Wrestling. He's got a great promotion. I mean, they
Okay.
sell the house every friggin' time. Every time they if you don't get in on tickets early, you're not getting tickets. Fills the house.
Okay.
Our local Knights of Columbus. That's where they fill it up at.
Okay, that's very cool. So it's in Columbus, Ohio.
No, it's the Knights of Columbus.
Okay.
It's a group. Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, Fody
very
Flow is
nice.
watching. Hey, you want to hear a rapper? Go to your Alexa and give a shout out. Go. I want to listen to Fody Flow. And this kid, he's young, he's dynamic, he's fantastic. Yeah, just give him a listen. You would not believe how young this kid is and how good he is. This kid can flow.
All right,
Like
right
times
on, man.
Fody.
Right on.
He was on my show about a year and a half ago. So
Okay,
get on your
nice.
Fody. Yeah. So yeah, so you're out of Cleveland.
Yep, I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Correct? I've got several friends that actually moved from Cleveland to here. So and
Okay.
his son CJ is the assistant head coach at Kent State right now. So
Oh, okay. That's
yep,
really awesome. Kent State is probably about like maybe 40 minutes from where I live right now.
mm-hmm. Yep, yep, just outside of Cleveland. But yeah, he
Okay.
moved from there to here, and he's a big Browns fan, which I make fun of him for all the time, but nothing you can do.
Why?
So,
Because they're shitty.
no, actually, they're not too bad. Browns have been pretty tough this last couple of years, so I just like giving him shit. But
Well, I always play
no,
the
his son CJ started out at.
I always crack on the joke about
Sorry,
like
go ahead.
having that one day that like the Cleveland Browns may get to the Super Bowl one day. I mean, the Cleveland Cavaliers already won the NBA Finals and stuff, and I think uh, the Cleveland Guardians that used to be the Indians went to the World Series and stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely, it is. Yeah. No, his son CJ, he started out in Northwestern, and then he
Okay.
went to uh, Miami of Ohio, and then he
Okay.
got recruited over to Minnesota as a defensive coach, and
Okay.
then uh, oh no, actually he started out Northwestern, and then he was a walk-on for the Titans, and he played all the way through preseason. He was like one of the last ones cut out of preseason several years ago, and then he got into coaching Miami of Ohio, and then he's a Golden Gopher, and now he's the assistant
Nice.
coach at Kent State.
Man, wow. This is like his career in football, right?
Yeah. He's moving up pretty quickly. Like he's already the assistant coach at Kent State, and that was coming from being an assistant defensive coach. So yeah, he's like really moving up.
I remember many
Yeah.
years ago. I remember years ago about a specific football player who was able to like transition to the NFL, and it was due to the fact that like he was playing after he graduated high school. He went into like playing like semi-pro football, which was really interesting. I forgot his name. He was on YouTube, and it was an interesting story because for him, like playing like semi-pro for so many years, all it took was like
Yeah.
a talent scout to actually look at this guy and see the potential that he had. So he ended up like inviting him to a tryout to where he ended up actually becoming part of a NFL football team. So it's really interesting
Cool.
to know that because like everybody thinks that like I feel like a lot of people would think that like if you play football in high school, then go to college and stuff, then talent scouts will look at you and stuff. But that's not even really the case anymore, because talent scouts could probably like look at you if you're like actually playing like semi pro, and then like they see your potential and want to invite you for a tryout, and before you know it, you end up being involved of a professional sports team.
Yeah, they don't really have a semi-pro like around here. Yeah, and,
Mm-hmm.
and, and now with the UFL doing as well as it's doing, they're actually able to look at people that come out of college, wasn't quite ready for the NFL yet, but they
Mm-hmm.
are good enough for the UFL. I mean, whether it's the XFL or UFL division, but at least it gives them another chance to take a look at these guys. Was it CJ McLaren? No, what's his name? C something McLaren. But anyway, he's a quarterback for the Battlehawks several years in a row. But he's been a backup on the Bengals 2 years in a row and has been asked to be released at the end of the year so that he can go back and play in the UFL. AJ McLaren. There it is.
I think it's always nice to see the like people getting like different opportunities like that. I think of like for me, I think that's what I always like to do also. Even though I have like a lot of my own like personal career goals and stuff, I want to be able to like to expand upon my talents on like giving other people opportunities so that they can grow too. Because when I first started being involved in like film production, I had to learn a lot from other filmmakers on like how they lead on their projects and how they get their creative juices flowing and stuff. So they kind of like inspired me with their leadership, and in transition, it kind of like inspires me to want to become more of a leader, but also, create opportunities for other people to expand on their skill set. And I think that's what's like the unique part when whether you're in the world of sports or in the world of music or in the world of like podcasting and stuff, there's always like opportunity for people to grow and create their own
Absolutely.
story.
So what's the name of your vigilante again? What's his name?
His name is Shadow Dome.
Oh, all right. And is it kind of a Batman-ish kind of a thing, or you said Daredevil-ish kind of a thing?
He is more of like a Batman-ish character, just minus the money, minus the gadgets, minus the vehicles and stuff like that. But the unique part, I always grew up watching superheroes with no powers. I don't have nothing against like heroes like Thor,
so you
Iron
kind
Man.
of sound like Blank Man. It's
Well, Blank Man was actually pretty entertaining when I was watching it because
it was very entertaining. It's a great movie.
It was meant to be a parody, but it was still like a good
Susan. Okay, Susan.
And the interesting part with Blank Man was that he didn't really fight that much, but his brother did because he had like martial arts experience. Yeah. So Blank Man had to like rely on his like comedic gadgets to help him out and stuff, and he ended up like getting the girl in the end.
Yeah.
But with my Shadow Dome project, with Shadow Dome, I always he was like a huge inspiration with a lot of superheroes that didn't have no powers. So with Batman, Daredevil, even with like the Green Arrow, they relied on like their own like physical stamina, and I think that was always what inspired me to where I've always enjoyed those kind of superheroes because they put a lot more effort in trying to like built into their physical bodies and stuff. And I think part of it too is like how I ended up like losing weight, because the heaviest I weighed was like 306 pounds. And this was back like 2020 or something like that. So like 4 years later, I ended up losing about like 56 pounds. I'm like around like 249 right now.
Wow. That's like my heaviest, and I'm down to like 190 now.
I'm hoping to get to like 180 within 5 months. That's my that would be my end goal, is to get to like 180 pounds.
Good for you, man. Keep going.
Oh, I
Jesus,
definitely
that's
am.
a that's a lot of weight.
It is most
That's a whole
definitely.
nother one of you.
Funny thing was like when I started like losing. The funny thing was I started losing weight. I wasn't even trying to intentionally lose weight. Years ago, I was working as a case manager,
Yeah,
and when the pandemic took place, everything like ended up shutting down. Like you couldn't really go anywhere because
yeah,
like coronavirus was like spreading all over the place. So people had to like retreat to their homes and try to like figure out how to like go about their days and stuff, and started developing like the essential workers and stuff like that. So I was part of the essential workers that was like continuing working. But the thing was this: I usually get my productivity by engaging with their clients face to face by traveling to their schools and stuff. Now that with like everything like shutting down, we weren't able to like make contact with them face to face because coronavirus was spreading around. So the only way we were able to communicate with our clients to see
right.
how they're doing was basically communicating with them on the phone. And the other thing was too, I was trying to get out more. And being surrounded by four walls can really make you feel institutionalized, like Shawshank Redemption type shit. So I had to
Yeah,
figure out how I can like
yeah,
occupy my time while not driving myself too crazy. So I ended up going on YouTube. There was one time I went on YouTube, and I think I was looking at a YouTube channel by a WWE star named Sheamus. He had like his YouTube channel was called Celtic Warrior Workout, which is like he would hang out with other wrestlers and other athletes on doing like different workouts and stuff. And I noticed him like doing what was called like the burpees. So I thought to myself, okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna try to like to do like one set of burpees, or at least like do it at least like 10 times just to see how my body feels. After getting done with it, I was like,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Then after a few days later, I went from going to like doing like the burpees, then doing the jumping jacks. And then the following week, it became
Yeah.
burpees, jumping jacks, push ups, high knees. And then the following week was just me just building the routine. So the times I'm like when I was like working at the house and stuff, I was simply like doing like jumping jacks and stuff just to occupy my mind and stuff. Even went to the point of like spending time walking, because I would always drive in my car getting to like the point A to point B.
Right. Right.
About a month or two later, people started like telling me like I noticed that you started to lose weight. And I never paid that much attention to it because the
Oh.
goal for me was that I was trying to like occupy my mind so I don't drive myself too crazy. Everybody else was just gaining
Hmm.
weight while being at home, while I was doing the exact
Right.
opposite. So when I started to
They were
notice
playing
that,
video games. You were
yeah,
doing burpees.
exactly. When I started to notice me losing weight and stuff, I was kind of like thinking to myself, okay, something is actually working. So I might as well just keep on going with this fitness journey. Then I even went there was even one time when I visited my mother. She loves watching Andy Griffith. Andy Griffith was her go-to guy. She enjoyed that TV show so much.
Who don't love
And
Andy Griffith? Yeah.
and the thing is, I always loved that intro with the whistle and stuff. It was like one of the most classic intros. We were watching an episode of with Betty where she was like cooking some stew. And I kind of like was watching. I was thinking to myself, you know what? I could probably just cook up some soup or something, just something for like the meal prep. So I ended up like going to the grocery store, getting my
Right.
vegetables and stuff, and boil all that stuff up, and let that just be my meal throughout the next 4 days and stuff. And little did I know that like I was starting to lose weight off of that. So I've been on quite of like a huge
Yeah.
fitness journey and stuff, and especially when the stores and places end up opening back up. I ended up going into like Planet Fitness, and that was kind of also like a game changer because I was able to like do different things with like the working out and getting on the treadmill and getting on the elliptical
Right.
bike and all that stuff. And little did I know that like I would build a routine and build a lifestyle with that. So now I'm like 249 pounds right now, and I'm pretty blessed, man.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Good for you.
Thank you. I really
That's
appreciate
that's a
it.
lot of weight. That's a lot of weight. Yeah.
It's
See,
a
I
lot
went
of
from
it's a lot of weight, and it's definitely a lot of like
I think I was like right
self-discipline, which
around I
I
was like right
believe is
around
like that's
250
how
and
I
now I'm
learned
down
about.
to yeah. The other thing that helped me is I got type 2 diabetes. That shed a
Oh,
lot of
okay.
it right off. Just right off. It's
That actually helped me out too, because like my
that's
doctor told me that like I was like a pre-diabetic, and I was like, oh crap, like how did I become a pre-diabetic? I didn't even eat that much stuff, did I? Then I ended up looking back and like I'm saying, like, yeah, I had like a Twinkie here and there and a Snickers because I love Snickers. But the big thing that like probably led me to becoming like a pre-diabetic was drinking Pepsi and Mountain Dew because there's so much
oh
big
god, yeah,
percentage
that'll do
added sugar.
it. just just sugar, all kinds of just
Yeah, sugar kind of did me in, but I think that was kind of like one of the other things. Like after like getting off the doing the like the sugar detox, my weight started like coming off a little bit more quicker than expected. So
yeah.
that helped too.
I've been drinking the 2.5 carbs. That's
Okay, there you go.
yeah, 2.5 carbs. That's what that is. That's I normally like on my show, I'm normally like drinking scotch. Uh but I'm
Oh,
trying to lay up right now, so
I used to
I'm taking a break from scotch for a little while.
I haven't like I'm trying to remember like usually when it comes to like drinking and stuff, if it's a beer, I'll drink a Modelo. Uh I used to drink like
Yeah.
screwdrivers, just get like vodka and mix it in with like orange juice and
Yeah,
stuff.
orange juice.
Yeah. The only reason
Yeah.
why I wanted to
Yeah.
drink that the only
Our
reason why I
bartender
wanted
told
to
me
drink
that.
that screwdriver was because not Jack Nicholson, Sam Jackson was drinking that in the movie Jackie Brown.
Oh, okay. Yeah. A good movie. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I was talking to a bartender. He's like, a couple comes in, and one ordered vodka and orange juice, and the other one ordered a screwdriver. So he brought him
Mm,
up to him. He set him down like this, and he goes, "Oh, wait, no." And he goes, "Oh, sorry, wrong one." And he just switched them like that.
wow.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, thanks."
They probably didn't care. They were just drinking anyway.
No, it was the same thing. Yeah, it just didn't matter. Didn't matter.
Yeah.
So, so you've got this movie coming. You got this movie. So you're working on this movie right now. Is it in the script portion? Is it in any kind of production? Is it what do we got going on?
So right now, it's in the pre-production phase. I'm gonna be starting to shoot this September 21st. I already have like at least like 3 shooting
Oh, okay.
days from like late September. I'm trying to book for scenes to get out the way for November and October, November, and December. The first time when I tried to like start production with this, one of the actors backed out, and that kind of like led me to like a little bit of like
Oh,
creative burnout. So when that creative burnout hit, it kind of like led me to just like stop to like to take a break and just process things. And little did I know that like I had to like one of the biggest things for me is that when it comes to being like a filmmaker, I always have like the desire to want to like level up with my skills, level up in my filmmaking techniques, but also like level up on my time management and business. So by me like returning back to the project, it took me about like maybe a couple of weeks just to like get myself to slow down my creative juices because um I feel like the ultimate superpower that a human being has is their creativity. That's what I honestly
Yeah,
feel. And
sure.
sometimes when you get like super creative, you have a hard when you get to that like manifestation stage, you tend to forget, okay, you have this idea, but realistically, how long will it take for you to actually like expand this into real life and stuff? So sometimes I have to learn to like take a step back to like really evaluate myself, but also at the same time, knowing that I have like other people that I worked with in the past that I've built a relationship with really kind of like inspired me because one of the things that like people have told me is like we're they always told me that like they would be there for me whenever you need and stuff. So that was kind of like reassurance to me to like to actually come back
Right,
with
right,
the project. So the goal is like we started shooting in late September and hopefully get all the scenes shot before the end of the year because there's quite of a few outdoor scenes
right.
that I could quite possibly get out the way before it actually gets chilly, and then we can like transition to doing more indoor scenes later in the end of the year.
Right, right. All right, we're coming up on 45 minutes, was where I kind of keep them. So what I want you to do, the floor is yours. Again, you talk about you, tell everybody where they can find you, whether they can send you money. Do you have a Patreon that you got set up?
I don't have a Patreon, but I do have a YouTube page. I do have Instagram page, and I
Okay.
also do have a Facebook page, and I also have like TikTok. I have so many social media platforms. But if you go on those search engine M dash Staff Productions, you can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, see what's all that what's like is going on. You can just basically just go to Google and just type it in. You can't miss my logo because there's a blue M with staff in white font and productions white font with the black background. You
All right.
literally cannot miss that. M Staff Productions.
Fantastic, fantastic. And as always, you can find me right here on YouTube TV or on YouTube, My Worst Holiday Podcast. You can also find us on Mosaic TV, baby. If you have a Roku device, if you have an Amazon Fire Stick, if you have an Android device, download Mosaic TV and see me, see Michael, see us both. And also send me money, you cheap bastards, at myworstholiday at patreon.com. I love you guys. Always you can find me at m.w.holiday on Facebook. And as always, from a room next to my bathroom in my basement, this has been My Worst Holiday. Good
My
night,
worst
everybody. Hang
holiday.
out, Michael. Here we go.
See you later.